Hi, welcome and hello to everyone who's tuning in live or watching from the replay on either Facebook business page or our YouTube. And they're both called Feel So Alive Marketing Group. My name's Robin Forster with Feel So Alive, and this program is called Feel So Alive Informed. As a solo entrepreneur, I know what a challenge it can be to get the information that you need. And then COVID hit, and I realized that life had changed for all of us. So my intention is to make it a little simpler. Plus, my mentor, Jasmine Starr, told us all to go do something that makes us uncomfortable, kind of pushing the limits. And she suggested a Facebook Live, so that's how this originally started. I have two speakers every time, and the first speaker is usually a healer, and the second speaker is usually a business person. And they're both sharing tips with us on how we can live our lives better, how we can take care of our businesses. Now, there's so much going on in the world, so before we start, I would like us all to take just about 15 seconds, and I'll let you know, to send healing light all over the planet. And it's whatever that healing light is for you. White light, prayer, blessing, whatever. So why don't we go ahead, I'm going to set my timer if you see me looking down, and we'll just spend about 15 or 20 seconds just being silent, kind of grounding, and sending out good juice, because I don't know about you, but I've talked to a lot of people today, and today has been a little bit sucky for a lot of folks. So let's see what we can do to kind of turn that around. Okay, let's all take a deep breath and come back. And a little warning, it is 2020, so anything that can go sideways, as we all know, is probably going to go sideways. And I usually try something new every time because that's part of what makes this so much fun. So hang on and keep your fingers crossed. So our first speaker is Cindy Myers, who is a nationally known energy and intuitive healer. Her career began as an engineer for the Navy. Then she earned her master's degree in counseling and is certified in Reiki and the Emotion Code. She now owns an alpaca farm in Oregon's Willamette Valley and has learned to do distance healing with pet owners. So let's go ahead and welcome Cindy. Cloud. Hi, and welcome everyone, whether you're on the live or on the replay or watching us on YouTube. My name is Robin Forster, and I am with Feel So Alive and Feel So Alive Informed. And today, it is my honor to share with you a healer that's fascinating and actually lives in the Eugene, Oregon area, which is unusual. And Cindy is going to talk to us about what she does in her energy healing and how she got there. And first, Cindy, why don't you go ahead and say hi to everybody?
Hello, all your listeners.
Excellent. And as with everything these days, we may have a glitch with the internet, so just be patient. It'll come back on or we'll do something. Just to let you know, I will be looking down at my notes now and then because I have these questions that I really want to ask Cindy. And so I want to make sure that I don't miss them. And also, I'll be taking notes on the tips that she gives us. So stay tuned until the very end so that you can hear her tips or gifts to us. So, Cindy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? So we have a feel for where you're coming from, your background. And I know it's hard. I'm asking you to do it in 2 minutes, and I know that that's a challenge.
Yes, it can be. But yeah, I'm an intuitive energy healer, and I do all my work over the distance. I use the phone and Zoom. I teach webinars, and um, I have an online healing circle that can help groups of people aligning their energy all at one, and then we pump it out to the world or all those that need it. So I do a lot of different modalities, and it's all, I can do it at a distance. And I learned how to do that because I have a farm with alpacas, 22 alpacas on my farm, 22, 24. I
Wow.
lose count sometimes. But they don't like to be touched. So they taught me how to do distance work. When I started to communicate with them, they were really instrumental in honing my skills as I got to know them better and wanted to participate in how they communicate, which is intuitively. So they were wonderful teachers, which led me to teaching animal communication classes using alpacas, taught workshops all over the country on how to communicate with animals. And they've helped me be a whole lot better at my work as a healer. I have a background in engineering, and I used to work on radars, and now I am one. But that's how I interpret a lot of the energy is by frequency. So that training has actually integrated into me so that I could interpret it. That's how I process when I'm getting information from people and able to do it over the phone. It's all frequencies to me. And then I got a master's, earned a master's degree in counseling. So I've honed those skills of being able to coach and a lot of hours in training under supervision so that I can provide ethical and meaningful support to people. And so I work with both people and animals.
Fascinating. I'm just real fascinated, a little hung up on how you were an engineer and you were also in the Navy, right?
I worked for the Navy. I was
You
not
worked,
in the Navy, but I worked for
okay,
them
so
for
you
almost
worked
20
for,
years.
wow, okay, and now you're on an alpaca farm in Oregon.
Yes. I made a little U-turn, left turn, right turn.
That's just
But I
fascinating.
use a lot of those skills. I was a project engineer, and for a lot of the projects that I do outside of the healing, I've written a number of books, and for teaching my courses and just setting up the business, I use the engineering skills of knowing how to get a project off the ground.
Interesting. So if somebody came to you because they have an issue, and most people these days have a pet, so let's say there's an animal involved, but they were trying to, in these days of COVID, everyone's kind of reevaluating and stressed out. So it sounds like what I'm hearing you say is that you could do the counseling component to help somebody, but you're also going to use the frequencies so you can help them to get on track. Is that?
Well, actually, what I'm sensing a lot, I'm an empath, so I sense both physical and emotional issues, and I'm both a physical and an emotional empath. So I actually feel the discomfort in my body, and then I also can pick up the emotions. And to me, emotions are just frequencies, but negative emotions are what gets stuck in our bodies, and it's true for pets and for us. And we all act like mini radars. We transmit and receive energy. So when we're stressed out, our pets will pick that up and absorb it as well, because the negative emotions are more easily trapped into our bodies. So we need to be able to identify what those emotions are. The animals don't care as much what the emotions are, they just want to get rid of it. And what those emotions do, and it's true for both humans and animals, is that they create both physical and behavioral issues. So by releasing the trapped emotions, then the pets can, and then I communicate with them what the issue is and what we want it to change to the positive. So if they're potting outside the litter box or having accidents in the house or chewing up something, destroying something, I can release the emotion that's created the behavior in the first place and then tell them, can you please go back into your litter box? And usually they do, because they don't need to get our attention anymore if it's a behavioral issue. If it's a physical issue, then by removing the trapped emotions, it helps our natural healing abilities to get to the places that it's been blocked from.
Wow, that's a lot. I know this is what
That was
you
a fire hose, I
do.
know. I teach a lot longer courses on it, so you got a fire hose.
But it's amazing and it's fascinating because I had no idea, but my background is behavioral. And so to hear that piece, and I'm learning more and more about how stuff gets stuck in our bodies, and what you're saying all makes a lot of sense.
We store our issues in our tissues.
Oh, that is so cute. And yeah, I think that's absolutely true. Um, so you told us a little bit about how you got drawn to this, and it was through your alpacas. And um, how are some, and you've told us a little bit about this too, but how have other people benefited from your healing skills? And I don't know if you want to share with us the little testimonial that you have on your website, the howling dog, or if you
Oh,
have another
okay. I was going,
story.
which one is there? That was during a webinar, actually, the howling dog, the case of the mystery of the howling dog. And it was during a demo during one of my webinars for animals. And this client, this person came on wanting to know why their two dogs would howl every morning at 7 a.m. And that was the only time it was right before they go for a walk. And it went on for years, and she just didn't know. She was just besides herself. She had no idea why these dogs would do that, because they went for multiple walks throughout the day, and they never howled during the afternoon. It was just first thing in the morning at 7 a.m. every day. And so I released a couple of emotions about it for the dogs, and then I asked her. I said, "Well, so what happened? I don't know, many years ago. Did something happen to you early in the morning?" And it turned out she had a horrible accident right before she was going to take her dogs for a walk. She fell and broke her leg seriously, and they had, rushed to hospital, and their dogs, had to get taken by a sister or somebody, and she couldn't have them for almost a year while she uh, healed.
Mhm.
And so these dogs had a PTSD response every morning about 7 a.m., wondering when she was getting up to get dressed, if she was going to have this accident and they would be pulled away from her again. So I
Oh,
cleared
wow.
the trapped emotions that related to the trauma of that experience, and then told them that no, this was a one-time event, and that was highly unlikely of ever happening again. And so we solved the mystery of why they were howling, and hopefully I didn't hear back from her that they were still howling, so I assumed that we fixed it.
Neat. Well, in the time that we have left, we have about 2 or 3 minutes left. Are there some gifts, some tips or techniques that you can share with everyone to help them center, heal, all the things we're all trying to deal with in these COVIDian days?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what I do a lot of for myself, and this is what I also teach during my webinars. And it's a real simple couple little simple things you do. And the main thing, it's everybody can do it, and it's called breathing. But most of us don't breathe very fully. So I do what I call breathing in fours, and you just take in a slow, deep breath of four, hold it for the count of four, and wait 4 seconds, or a count of four, and then let it go on a count of four. So every part of the breathing passage, do it on a count of four. And then once you've done that a few times, you're going to lower your blood pressure and get yourself recentered a little bit. Add in something you're grateful for. And even if you can't access that, if you're really in your fear brain, just say the word gratitude, and because that's releasing a high frequency chemical into your body, and that triggers your parasympathetic response system, which is your calming system. So you want to get to your calming system. So breathing fully, slow yourself down, and then add in gratitude, and that's going to help counter that stress, the adrenaline based, fear based energy that you're in. So just do that regularly. It takes about 2 minutes to pull yourself out of it. So stay with it for about 2 minutes, and then you should feel yourself calming down.
Excellent. That sounds
One
very
last little
doable.
quick tip, if you have time, when you get to that point, and I know you work a lot with business people, the third component that helps me is that I add a phrase, what would it take? So it gets me out of that spinning. I can't
Ah,
get out of my worry thoughts, spinning thoughts. Once I get myself grounded, do the breathing, gratitudes, do at least 3 gratitudes, spend a little bit of time, 2 minutes doing that, then add in the phrase, what would it take? And add in what you want to get done. Okay, a simple task. And that gets you into an action step instead of the hamster wheel.
nice. That is awesome. And that is the amount of time that we have. And thank you so much. This has
Well,
been wonderful, Cindy.
thank you for inviting me.
Wasn't that great? She is just so fascinating going from being an engineer to a therapist. I just thought that was amazing. And I really like her suggestion of the inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. So I hope that that was helpful to you. And next, I wanted to talk about something else that we all need and a lot of us forget. So I know many of us are concerned about our health and keeping our immune system going strong. So vitamin C is a nutrient we're going to talk about today just for a few seconds. And according to the Mayo Clinic, our body needs vitamin C to form blood vessels, cartilage, muscle, and collagen in our bones. It's also vital to your body's healing process. So the question is, are you getting enough vitamin C? Your body doesn't manufacture it, so we all need to get it in daily in our foods or in a supplement. And for some people, they don't realize that the bruising that's showing up on their skin might be due to a lack of vitamin C. So I just wanted to share that with you because we all need to keep our immune systems and our health running really well. So let's go on to our next speaker. And the next video is with Kim Ravida from the Boston area. And she is a business coach who works with small business owners to help them create clarity in their marketing and attract amazing clients to serve. She takes a holistic approach to helping her clients create a business and life that they love. So let's welcome Kim. Hi, I'm Robin Forster with FeelSoAlive and with FeelSoAlive Informed. And I want to thank you for joining us either live or on the replay. And I'm going to be looking down at my notes because our guest speaker today, Kim, is going to be sharing some really fascinating tips with us. And I want to make sure that I don't forget any of them because it's really important. And my intention, or a little bit about me, is that I am a solo entrepreneur and I'm fascinated with health and with wellness, both yours, mine, and the planet's, and also aging gracefully. So that's kind of where this came from. I wanted to make sure that as entrepreneurs, we all had little bite-sized pieces of the information that we needed to know that we might not know that we need. So that's what this is all about. And don't forget to like our Facebook business page, which is FeelSoAlive Marketing Group, because then you can watch these. And also our YouTube channel, which is FeelSoAlive Marketing Group. And now I get to introduce Kim. So Kim, say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Excellent. And Kim, I'm going to read your bio really quick so that people will have a sense of what's going on and know a little bit more about you. You are a business coach and you work with small business owners to create clarity for their marketing, attract amazing clients, and don't we all want those, and to serve and establish solid productivity and operating systems for the health and wealth of their business as well as for themselves. So she is taking a holistic approach to helping her clients create a business and a life that they love. And doesn't that sound, that just sounds so awesome. I really like that.
Me
and
too.
especially, oh, good. And especially during these COVIDian times when things are a little wonky. So I'm wondering if you could then tell us a little bit more, because the bio was short and sweet, which is good, but tell us a little bit more about yourself.
So I'm Kim Ravita, and my very first love in life was health and fitness. And I've spent 20 years in the health and fitness industry teaching group exercise classes, Pilates, yoga, boot camps, one-on-ones. And one of the things that I found was, I don't want to say the missing link, but a missing link is that we all want to look good, we all want to feel good, but we don't necessarily want to put the work into it. And when I say put the work into it, I don't necessarily mean lifting 100 pounds of weights or doing 500 lunges or squats or abs, right? Whenever I throw that one out, people are rolling their eyes. And so I started as a health and fitness coach, and I worked with a woman, and she had great success, and she was building her own business. And she said, Kim, I really like what you're doing with your business. Would you help me in that respect? So as a coach, I'm trained really to help just about anybody. I don't need to be an expert. I'm not a consultant. And I said yes, and that took off, and she began to build her business. And one of the things that came into play was she didn't want to put the work into certain areas. So it, kind of transformed into, okay, so what is the work? What are we talking about work? What does work mean? And when we think of work, we think of it being hard. And sometimes it is, because we might not know how to do something, what to do. So we began to take things apart. And so how I help my clients is they have a destination, now they need a direction. Think about your GPS, right? If you're going somewhere, you plug in where you're going, it tells you how long it's going to take to get there, and it tells you probably how to get there. So they have the destination, they need direction. So what direction are they going to take first, second, third? So that's where the productivity comes in. The working with great clients are, you know who they are, you know what you want to do with them, you know how to attract them. And then branding is all about yourself and your business and how you can authentically be yourself and be your business in a very clear cut, easy to understand way so that clients will be attracted to you. And so that's how that all started. So I still build in a big portion of health and fitness into my private clients and my group programs, because that is one of the key pieces. If we don't feel great, then everything else kind of falls at the wayside. So if we're feeling strong and solid and healthy, then there's not a lot of work we feel like we have to do, because we're going to enjoy it. We're going to have energy. We're going to have the resources. We'll know where to find the resources. So that's where it all started and where it is.
Interesting. I didn't know, and that just makes perfect sense. I mean, what a positive thing that your client said, "I like your business and how you're running it. Help me with that." I mean, that to me is like the highest possible referral that anyone. I mean, that's a really
Yes.
really amazing compliment. Okay, so you've kind of talked about how you got drawn into this, which is awesome. Can you talk a little bit before we get into the tips and exercises about how it's benefited others? I mean, you gave us that one great example. Are there some other examples of people that you've worked with, or they just had like one meeting with you and you had a suggestion for them and it made a difference, or, that kind of thing?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked that, because I just recently, in the last week, I had a client in London who we just met for a laser coaching session, which is really 30 minutes. And she came with a particular instance that she wanted to work on. And that was for her she was doing craniosacral, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, training. And she needed to produce all of her paperwork and send it off to be certified. And she was dragging her feet. She had the hottest time doing so. And so we laid out a plan. So she knew her destination, and then we backtracked. So what's the first thing she needs to do, the second thing, the third thing, and so on. And each day she told me she would do it within 10 days. And each day she was going to spend X amount of time to do it. She sat down, she did her work. And at the end, she emailed me that she completed it. Now there was a caveat, because I said to her, if you don't do it, there's got to be some kind of repercussion, or that might be too strong of a word, but some kind of result. And she said, okay. She said, I will donate now it's pounds, 500 pounds to my favorite charity if I don't do it. Then she so graciously, and I was so blown away by this, she said, but you know what? I feel like if I do it, I still want to make a donation. So she would donate 200 pounds, even, not doing it, but because she did it. And sure enough, that Monday she emailed me and said, it is complete, and I just made my donation. So having the steps broken down easily, and plus she knew she could reach out to me if she needed help. So there was the support, there was the accountability. She learned, though, how to be self-reliant, resilient, and she got a whole lot of confidence from it. So that's really, I say I'm in the business of helping people be inspired, motivated, and confident.
Well, that story is just awesome. I love that. And then her response to saying, well, I'll send 200 pounds, but the punitive thing will be 500 pounds, but it's still going to a good place. So, yeah, that's just neat. And I like what you're talking about in terms of the destination, and then what is the direction, and breaking that down into the steps. To my mind, it just makes it so clear. It's like, oh, well, yeah, if I want to be here, then I'm going to have to do this first. And
correct.
So, yeah, that's fun. Okay, so I mean, you've shared with us some goodies. we have a little bit of time left. So can you share some gifts or exercises or tips to help other business owners?
Oh, of course, I would love to. So one of the things that I teach, well, I practice myself, but I also teach my clients and pretty much anybody who will listen. So you get to be benefit of that, is to take a breath or a pause and be in your now. Because a lot of times we're here, there, and everywhere. We're worried about things. You know, Robin and I have had a conversation about masks and, you know, like, where's my mask? Do I have my mask? Do I need to wear my mask? You know, oh, do I have the right mask? Oh, I don't want that mask. Oh, this mask. Now we have multiple masks. That's another side story. But so we're kind of here, there, we're not where we really are, or maybe where we need to be. So I always like to have my clients practice before they go into when they get into their office, to not just dive in, and this can be used in any way, any place, any shape, any form, wherever you happen to be, is to just take a pause, but not just pause. I like my clients to put their feet firmly on the floor, and you can do this too right now if you'd like. So the feet are firmly on the floor, or you could stand hip distance apart. If you're sitting, you're feeling the weight of your body on your chair, and take your hands and just place them on your thighs. Draw the shoulders back and just lift the chest a little bit, chin down, and reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. And I'm just going to look down. So you're going to close your eyes or look down and just take a nice long inhale, draw it in through the nose as deep as you possibly can. It'll be different for everyone. And then hold, and then just let the air out through the mouth in a big and out as long as you possibly can. You're going to be able to exhale longer than you think. And then you can open your eyes. And when you open the eyes, you're going to say, I am here now. And that brings you right into your present. So if you have kids that are coming into your office, or you have dogs, as is my case, and something's pulling you off course, or you're stressing out, or you're feeling like, ugh, just take that breath. It takes practically no time, and you can do it anyway. You don't have to sit. You don't have to stand. You can just breathe. Which is the beauty of us, right? We breathe no matter what. We don't always focus on it. And then look at your to-do list. Hopefully you've made a to-do list. If you haven't, that's another tip I would highly recommend. Either the night before or first thing in the morning, you're going to look at that list. And now you're going to be present. And you're going to be able to take the first thing on the list, or your most important thing. There's a whole other side of prioritization. I could talk about a long time about that. Robin knows that. But you're going to look at the priorities and see, okay, what to do first. And then, you know, of course, sometimes the days go sideways. So that is a whole nother story, right?
That was great, because I was just thinking about, you know, for some people, their office is the couch with their laptop.
Mhm.
And the breathing can still be done, or
Totally.
before they have to make a call that's not going to be fun, they think, because I mean, who knows,
Yes.
really, you know, what's going to happen. But Kim, that was great, and I'm watching the clock because I know that you have another commitment, and we're kind of at time. So I'm going to have to end this, but we're going to have you back again to talk about more productivity.
Oh, I'd love that. I'd love that. Thank you, Robin. This was wonderful.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, thanks. So much great information. I really appreciate how many healers and business coaches are focusing on breathing and the power of intention. Thank you for joining us, and we wanted to let you know that our schedule in November and December is a little different because of the holidays. We'll only have one live November 12th and then December 10th due to the holidays and winter break. So please go and like our YouTube channel so that you'll know about it, and click that little bell so that you'll get notified next time we are going to be broadcasting or having our program. And if you know a business person or a speaker who you think would be awesome, please let me know, Robin at FeelSoAlive.biz, because I would be more than happy to talk to them about interviewing them. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful day, and don't forget to practice some breathing.